The weight of a simple decision. A morning like any other. Ethan was living in a small town. In the morning, he walked to the bakery to buy bread and coffee. The routine was comforting. On this particular day, everything seemed normal. The sun was shining, and the streets were quiet. At the bakery, he greeted Mrs. Turner, the kind old woman who always served him. While waiting for his order, Ethan noticed a flyer on the counter. It said the town was looking for volunteers to clean the park. Ethan hesitated. He thought, I don't have time for this. It's just a park. But something made him pause. Mrs. Turner saw him staring at the flyer and said, You should join, Ethan. The park could use some care. Ethan smiled politely, took his bread and coffee, and walked home. He couldn't stop thinking about the flyer. It seemed like such a small thing, but it stuck in his mind. A choice to make. That evening, Ethan sat at his small kitchen table, staring at the flyer. He thought about the park. It was where he played as a child, where families gathered for picnics, and where he had once proposed to his late wife, Lily. The memories made his heart heavy. He realized how much the park meant to him and others in the town. Still, he felt unsure. Volunteering meant giving up his weekend. It was such a simple decision, but it felt complicated. Ethan finally decided to go. He thought, if I don't help, who will? The next morning, he put on his old work clothes and went to the park. He was surprised to see so many people there, including Mrs. Turner. Ethan, she said, smiling warmly. I knew you'd come. Ethan nodded, feeling a strange mix of nerves and pride. More than just cleaning. The group started cleaning the park. They picked up trash, painted benches, and planted flowers. It was hard work, but Ethan felt good doing it. He talked with others and realized he wasn't alone. Many people shared stories about the park and why it mattered to them. One young woman, Sarah, said, This is where my son took his first steps. Another man, Mr. Collins, shared, I come here to remember my wife. She loved sitting under that big oak tree. Ethan felt connected to everyone. It wasn't just a park, it was part of their lives. As the day went on, Ethan noticed how much they were accomplishing. The park began to look beautiful again. When the day ended, Mrs. Turner handed Ethan a glass of lemonade. Thank you for coming, she said. Ethan smiled. For the first time in a long while, he felt truly at peace. The ripple effect. In the weeks that followed, the park became the heart of the town again. Families came to play, children laughed, and older residents sat on the newly painted benches, enjoying the fresh flowers. Ethan visited the park often. He brought a book and sat under the oak tree, feeling proud of what he had helped create. People greeted him warmly, and some even thanked him for his efforts. One afternoon, Sarah approached him. She had started a community group to keep the park clean and organize events. Would you like to join us, Ethan? She asked. Ethan thought about it and smiled. Yes, he said. He realized how one small decision had changed so much, not just for him, but for the entire town.